So yeah, let's talk about Melania Trump real quick. I was jokingly going to call her Melatonin, and I think I will. So let's talk about Melatonin Trump. You know, the lady who is married to the orange man in chief. The lady who put her own selfishness forward. The lady who surprisingly does not agree with anything that he's doing. I expected to look in these cards and see this woman completely being a subservient jackass to him, like being very yes womanish, like Stepford wife-ish. Like, no, she ain't like that at all. I mean, it blew me away to find out that she really had feelings for him at one point. I'm like, damn, girl, I thought you was a working girl. But I guess they do fall in love. That whole pretty woman shit comes to mind. But don't feel sorry for Melania, okay? Because, Melatonin. Because Melatonin chose her own path, okay? This is Melatonin's karma, okay? This is her karma for, again, putting her own self-interest, not even considering other people at all. Like, making decisions based on, I want this, I want that. Like, looking at a white man, an American white man, as her way out. This is her karma for being male-centered. She does have very, very male-centered energy, and everything surrounding her says, if worse comes to worse with her husband, she's definitely going to find her another rich man's lap to sit on, okay? So she's very, very male-centered, and although she doesn't agree with him, she's not really learning any lessons, okay? But don't feel sorry for her, because this is her karma. This is her universal deities judging her for kind of being a little bit ashamed. She's from she's Slovenian, and I want to say they're from some part of Yugoslavia. She, aside from the is that Baltic sexiness these folks be talking about, other than her being basically a sex kitten for white men, she looked down on her background. I don't know whether or not her family was poor and she came up through the ranks, you know, throwing that thing to rich men. But she was ashamed of that, or she is still kind of ashamed of that. So the more money she has and the more space she has between being poor or being considered one of those poor people in Yugoslavia, she'll do anything, honey. So just know that although, yes, she's getting her karma, yes, she does not agree with her husband, she kind of despises the motherfucker, but she's still only looking out for her own interests, okay? She's not even really looking out for her son's interests. And I guess because he is grown now, he should be about 22, 23 now. She figures he's got, you know, enough of his father's money and shit and inheritance that's coming. Not that she doesn't take care of her son, and not that she isn't there for her son. She loves her son, but Melatonin loves Melatonin more, okay? She absolutely loves herself more than anyone in this world, and can't be mad at the girl for that, okay? But when you start producing children, regardless of the jackass you have the child by, you become responsible for other people. And I think at some stages Melatonin has reached into that, and we'll get into that. Let's get into that, because those just were her beginning cards. Like I said, make no mistake, Melatonin has always been a working girl, honey. She gon' work that caucasity and that Caucasian flat ass and get what she wants, honey. She's gonna sit real proper and pretty and cross her legs, and she's gonna weigh 130 pounds, and she's gonna make sure that she's skeletally skinny, so that these rich white men will always find her attractive, even though she's 54 years old. She says, yo, I still got some motherfucking kick in this Sprite. Hold on, or Diet Coke, excuse me, because white folk don't drink Sprite. But it's still some kick in this Diet Coke, okay? This snapper's still biting, okay? But at the beginning, she was a good old working girl, young girl, you know. She was ambitious about it, honey. I mean, she was not giving that cat to no poor man, okay? Once she decided or figured out that she could sell her aesthetic, I'll put it like that, because we're trying to, you know, get our videos seen. When she figured out that she could sell her aesthetic, especially to these passport bros that were coming over here looking for wives, and make no mistake about it, Trump is a passport bro. Anyway, she like, yeah, let me sell this thing to these boys that can afford it. And moving up her ranks, because y'all know she was putting that ass out there for the Playboy and all of them folk, you know. Hugh Hefner probably had a few parties and boom, in walks Donnie. And she know what it is about him. And the girls have been talking about Trump for years, you know. Not that he was this dude or no shit, but y'all, A1A trick material, okay? A1A trick material. He is the captain of the tricking team. He is the leader of the trick capital. He is the trick, okay? Melania knew this, okay? And in her mind, remember, she had those ideals of what a rich white man could bring. Not only just any rich white man. This is Donald J. Trump, okay? She realized that, or at least in her young mind or her young-mindedness, because she kind of soft-eyed, you know, she boy crazy and whatever man makes her feel good and touches on her inside parts real well, she's in love with that person. I mean, she's still gonna be a hooer, okay? She's still gonna go get that trap. But if you touching her on her inside parts right, and you giving her all of the money, jewels, and trips and parties with her other model friends, so yo, you become that motherfucker for her, okay? If you can meet her financial bottom line and then some, you become that person for her. And this is what Mr. DJT was to her. He represented a different lifestyle for her. He represented opportunity. And again, remember, she gives the energy of someone who is ashamed of her background. So being attached to a DJT represented a new lifestyle for her, or a new life as a whole for her. And she poured energy into that baby and made sure that, although yes, Mr. DJT was entertaining and tricking on many, he was he was the favorite one, okay? He was her favorite. And she made sure she poured energy into him to get him to do what she needed him to do, no matter the other women, okay? Now, I want y'all to keep that in mind. She went into this situation knowing that DJT was somehow a playboy. I don't understand it. You're like, yo, in the 80s and the 90s, he looked exactly how he looks right now. So, baby, he got to be tricking something heavy, okay? Girls, they get this sack that's like that. You know, talk to me, girl. Does it not matter if this man looks like something? Shit. Hold on, y'all. I ain't got my microphone plugged up, but I'm glad that I ain't got into the thick of the shit yet. Hold on, y'all. Now y'all should be able to hear me talk a little bit of shit better. But I was asking the girls that the working girls, if a motherfucker look like DJT, but he got that sack, does it not matter? Does the aesthetic no longer matter? I mean, let me know. Let me know some hoe tendencies. Like, just let me know what hoes do. Because that's probably why y'all be getting paid. And that's why you bitches motherfucking had a nice shoes and hair always did and shit. Because y'all selling the ass to the right man. But if he look like DJT, but he ain't got DJT money, what do y'all do then? If he break you off a little bit, he break you off 2-3 bands every time y'all kicking, do you close your eyes and fuck? What you doing? Because not that Melania is beautiful, but she looks a lot better than DJT. And y'all see the stuff that DJT rolls around with. The women that he's cheated on each of his wives with have been extreme downgrades from each of his wives, okay? I just want to know, when the money is up there real high like that, do that make you turn your head? Because that's exactly what Melania did, okay? She went forward blindly, knowing that this man's still out here fucking around. The Grinch, y'all, that's exactly who in the fuck he looked like and is built like, but he was doing all this dicking around. I don't understand. That money must be heavy over that way. But anyway, she like, alright, I'm gonna pursue this shit. I'm gonna go forward. This finna be my man. This is finna be mine. And y'all know she barely speaks English, so that's me. If Melatonin was a sister. Let me give her back to the Caucasian side. Knowing that Trump represented what he represented to her, you know, she's very happy to U.S. You know, I'm gonna go forward with this, and Trump being with this relationship. And let me just say the acronym. I mean the damn fucking letters we got laid out for that fucking DJT being the manipulative, narcissistic, control freak jackass that he is. He's seeing all the money he's spending on her probably, and like, you know, I could probably spend a lot less money on Cat if I just married this bitch. And because Melatonin is very happy to U.S., she's very happy to U.S. You know, she might be able to read shit in English, but she don't speak it too goddamn well, bless her goddamn heart. But he knew that she was soft-eyed. He knew that she was looking for a way out of the lifestyle that she was in, and she wanted a whole lot of money, okay? Make no mistakes, baby. She wasn't selling that thing for no low prices, okay? She was always for the highest bidder. DJT just happened to be that one. So when he got his chance, he's like, hey, let's make this official. Sold her on the idea of marriage. Not only on the idea of marriage, on the opportunities that comes along with being Mrs. DJT, okay? Got her to sign this shit legally because, like I said, he buying Cat anyway, so shit. Why don't I open the road up for this? Let me go and sell her on this getting married tip and told her all this bullshit. And allegedly Melania is a Sagittarius moon. So up comes the Page of Wands with that Sagittarius moon energy, with that soft-eyedness, with that wild-eyed optimistic excitement, you know. She looking for the motherfucking adventure that comes along, or at least the adventure she thought was going to continue to happen. She didn't expect this adventure to take this goddamn toxic turn with this man. But she was game for the shit. She like, look, this motherfucker rich and shit, you know. At the time, she ain't got to have no babies. All I got to do is sit here and be pretty for this motherfucker. Like I said, she's not a bad-looking woman. She looked like a fucking Siamese cat. But she looks a whole lot better than his other wives, okay? But, she like, I'm cool. Let's jump on in. Let me jump on in. And even if she isn't a Sagittarius moon, which I looked her chart up and it saw Sagittarius moon, and then on some it said Capricorn. But either way, the energy is, I'm game for this shit. And especially if she's a Capricorn, baby, she was very money-minded going into this. I'm going to get all of the coins, okay? I'm going to be the last Mrs. DJT, okay? And she mean that, okay? Shit was all good for them, you know. He treating her like a queen. She feels like she's made an informed decision for her future. She wasn't thinking about no goddamn cheering. And she was like, shit, I can see this for the long time. I can see things staying like this for a while, you know. I have made the correct choice. Oh boy. But as soon as she got married to that motherfucker, things changed. Baby, his representative went away real quick. And I'm talking about the mental anguish began almost immediately. Shit went south real fast. She started noticing that he was wild manipulative, you know. I think that she did not want him to go into politics because while she may be soft-eyed, she felt like he didn't possess the temperament to be nobody's in-charge man like that. Now, she didn't voice this to him. She kept the shit to herself. But when she would be alone, she would, you know, question, like, is this man the man that really, really needs to be in politics because some of his ideals are crazy? Like, she didn't believe in him at all as a politician, okay? Or she doesn't believe in him as a politician. She believes in him as a businessman. She believes in him as the motherfucker that can take care of things and take care of her son. But she completely rejected the idea of him being a politician. But she didn't say anything because, again, Trump represents success to her, okay? And as long as she could sit her Caucasian ass up and look pretty, she didn't care that he was lying, being manipulative towards the American people, lying about what he was going to do if he was a politician, all of that, you know, ignoring the rumors surrounding him, you know, the whole grab him in the pussy thing. She turned her head to that. As long as he was taking care of business, you know. And by business, I mean laying her probably, here's $2 million, Melania. And that's for what? Maybe this month. This is your allowance, because he definitely sends you with that goddamn coin. See them coins he was getting while he was just simply tricking on her and taking her out to Cabo and Turks and Caicos and shit. Yeah, she ain't quite getting this now, nor is she receiving that attention. Everything that he promised her, he's reneged on. Are we surprised? Trump always chickens the fuck out. Nobody knows that better than Melatonin, honey. Melatonin knows that quite well, in fact. Hold on, I have to take me a sip of water. She knows that quite well, in fact, now, because this marriage is starting to feel more like a prison. Trump ain't giving her as much money. You know, he's keeping real tight tabs on her. She can't even go out on the porch and smoke her Virginia Slim without him wanting to know where she at. It's like he got a LoJack bugged up this woman's ass, okay? And you know he's been over there being real irrationally ignorant, talking to that woman crazy, because, oh baby, they be fighting. They get to arguing something terrible. And allegedly, according to her cards, Trump be laying some ignorant, evil shit on her. He be talking crazy than a motherfucker to her, okay? On the other side of the Ten of Wands, there's alleged physical things going on. He might be face palming or slap her a little bit, you know, because he feel like he's the man and this is what men are allowed to do and you're my property. This is how Melania is feeling about this situation. She's feeling like less like his wife and more like his property. And again, she chose to go and marry this tyrant. Remember, he was exhibiting these same behaviors while she was a working girl, but as long as it didn't directly affect her or her family. Now, with me saying she's ashamed of her background, she loves her family, okay? So as long as the shit he was doing wasn't affecting her and her family, she didn't care, okay? As long as she could slide her mama $500,000-$600,000, provide her mama a nice house, her daddy, whomever the fuck her family is, she didn't care. But now that he's turned this shit on her, it's a problem. And she keeping a whole lot of goddamn secrets, y'all. Because he done turned this woman's world upside down. Yes, she was a working girl. Yes, she was doing her thing, but she wasn't living like this. She, again, feels captive in her world. She's like Rapunzel caught up in the motherfucking castle, and she's looking for Rumpelstiltskin to come help her, honey. She want Gavin Newsom to be Rumpelstiltskin so goddamn bad. But anyway, we ain't gonna talk about that. Just know that she really hot for that white man, baby. But anyway, there's lack of cohesion in this marriage now. Like, and this isn't just going on as of 2025. Like I said, she wasn't in agreement with him becoming president in 2016, but she wrote it out. She like, okay, you did it this one time, don't do it again. When he ran again, she felt like he wasn't really listening to her at all. Like, she had voiced that she was done with politics. She wanted to be able to be a socialite, because that's what she wants to do, be out amongst the pretty people and dine and eat grass with the rest of them, and, you know, take a shot of wheat grass or whatever the fuck, lemon juice, whatever the fuck they be drinking, cat piss, I don't know. But she just wanted to be one of the socialites, and it broke her heart that yet again, here's Donald throwing her into the world of motherfucking politics. And she feels a lot of loss, okay, with this second term, because he's become more tyrannical, okay? He's become the opposite of the Knight of Swords in upright. At first, with 2016, she was like, okay, you did it, you succeeded, cool. But this time, you're just doing it just to be fucked up to people. She feels like his energy is like he's being rude, tactless, forceful, bullying people, aggressive, vicious, ruthless, and more arrogant than he's ever been. Like I said, she really did have a little bit of feelings for him. At first, she did love this motherfucker. But now she's like, damn, I'm a bit trapped now. Shit. Why my camera keep doing this shit? But she like, I'm trapped now. Not only am I his wife, he's the mother of my child. I'm completely stuck to this motherfucker. And he knows that she kind of feels this way, but he's overall pessimistic and real spiteful and deceitful to this woman. He doesn't care that she feels like there's an imbalance he doesn't care that she feels like there's an imbalance in their relationship or in their marriage. He doesn't care that there's a lack of cohesion, and he does not care that she is unhappy. What he does do, though, is manipulate and mind fuck her a lot, okay? He does that a lot. Probably reminds her that he's the reason why she's in the U.S. or able to travel to the U.S., do whatever the fuck she wants because her last name is Trump, okay? He probably reminds her that he can send her back to where she came from often. You know, he hates immigrants, okay? How hypocritical is it of him, knowing that he has this Slovenian fucking wife, but he hates immigrants? Realistically, she's like, I don't know what to do. Especially because this man's steady doing shit to hurt this woman, okay? Steady stabbing her in the back. Probably don't come home when he's supposed to. Ew, good that he don't come home. But he's still out there doing his thing. Aside all of the foolishness that he's doing and saying to this woman allegedly, he's still out here cheating on that woman. Y'all see he fucked on Stormy Daniels and shit, you know. So he likes a whore, okay? And Melania is aware of this, okay? Y'all know he got this psychic bitch that he got on his team. I wonder if they having an affair. We'll look that up later. But Melania is like, you know, when will this shit end? Or she like, oh, I know that there's an end coming, okay? Here she is with fear and anxiety about asshole with this Gemini energy on it. Not only because he's being tyrannical and because he's being an asshole, because his gait is off, okay? With the 9 of Swords, this is somebody falling up and down steps, or somebody that's falling all of the time. She's like, goddamn, am I his motherfucking caregiver now? I just got my damn platinum nails done, and you mean to tell me I got to pick this fucker up off the floor? She's looking for her way out, okay? She knows that she's the only one that can free herself. And after she has had enough, or when he goes further down, because he's going to go down, she's going to begin to make her exit. She's like, don't feel so bad for me, girls. Don't feel bad for me. The old cat rides again, okay? She's like, I'm just sitting back biding my time because, as I said, this motherfucker ain't well. His gate is off. As soon as the box closes, honey, or the fucking furnace flames are done and everything has settled, baby, she gonna gather herself so goddamn quickly, or as soon as they announce him on the other side at the Elvis concert, front row tickets, baby, she gonna gather her motherfucking self so fast and she gonna take off. Because y'all know her being Miss DJT, she gonna get damn near everything. Now I know he probably got a prenup set up to where is that this woman may not get a lot of anything, because that just sounds like close to what he do, but she's going to get something, and as soon as she gets that something, she going to move back overseas and back to, or back to getting her men, honey. She going to be back ready for the streets. She going to be back for the streets, honey. Going to have them pink toes out and going to be tossing that flat ass around, baby, and she going to go get her old Roman nose motherfucker, old tall Roman nose motherfucker, somebody that's completely different from her ex-husband. I hope they get into a fight publicly and we get to see it, but they probably won't, because she's smart, honey. She know how to count them coins and get them coins. She gonna have to fight with his kids, though. We'll do that reading later.
Feel the sacred glow in the realm of the real. Let a power flow. Bye.